I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a video guy. I like to be behind the scenes, but I figure why not help some people who are at it. So today, it's going to be the very first red cap every day. So these are just, I'm not doing these every day. That's ridiculous. I'm not up for that. What I am saying is, I'm going to give you like little tips and advice that I use every day on things of builds, maintenance, and stuff like that. Here we go. This tank here, I use this thing every day for a very long time. And I dropped it, so that's why there's no glass on it. I already rebuilt or changed the coil in my other tank and realized I never hit record, so might as well dust this guy off. One thing I want to show you is if you drop your tank and if you break your glass, odds are, even though this coil looks fine, it could still be bad. These coils are just pressed together, so like these threads and down here, it's just a press fit. So a hard enough impact can bend or separate the coil, and you'll put everything back together with a brand new glass and your original coil, and it'll leak. Whenever you break your tank glass, just to be safe, always just put a new coil in it. We'll start off by pulling this thing apart. This one actually was decently clean. I try to maintain my things. Here we go. We got the tank torn apart. I mean, this isn't glorious, but you can see, like, whenever you do a coil replacement, it's probably best to clean out everything. Your drip tip, clean out the base. It's not required, but if you're anything like me and never put your mod in your pocket, odds are after the week or 2 or 3, whenever you change your coils, you're going to have like dust and pocket lint and all that other stuff built up. So what I always try to do is I take my glass. I already washed this thing. I'm not doing it again, but I take all my old parts that I'm reusing and just rinse them off. So I got this. This is just hot water. And I'll let it soak for like a minute or 2. And really what I'll do is just, run it under hot water in like the sink or whatever. If you do use a cup, don't overfill it. Step 2. Alright, let's try this with less hot water. I'll take a paper towel and I'll wipe out the inside of here, clean out like dust, slide my airflow, just make sure it's overall clean. So we got that. Drip tip. Remember, I was all nasty. Now it's clear again. So I'll drop it everywhere, and then after that I'll take a paper towel and I'll clean it through. Again, I've had this thing forever, and since it did drop, like there's a chip in it, like it's battle tested. I've had this thing for at least a year now. And then one thing is you will get like a little bit of nasty built up in here, so I just wipe it, and that's good. The other thing that I don't believe many people really look at whenever they're doing this is on the inside where they go to the top of the coil. This here gets a little bit burned and kind of nasty, and leaving this dirty like this will actually affect your flavor. So whenever it's wet, you have a little bit of a wet thing, just go in there and kind of clean it out. Like, this is kind of all you got to do. You see all the black, and then that comes right out. The tube on the inside doesn't actually accumulate anything, so just this little quick motion, that's all you got to do. I will reiterate the fact I said before. Whenever you're doing these coil swaps, just throw your old coils away. I've actually seen them laying in parking lots outside of vape shops, people throwing them away like cigarette butts. It's just not cool. Just don't do that. Let's install this stuff. Whenever I'm putting this together, I like to do it just hand tight, just snug. Like, you don't need to crank down on it. You don't need to make sure it's super tight. The tighter you install it, the harder it is going to be to get out. So just go until all of those things seat, like the O-rings and everything, and then install this on your mod. This is the meat and potatoes, the important stuff. So we got our bottle of Red Cap fresh, and what you want to do is turn your wattage down on your single coils, like the crowns, you know, and other devices. You're going to want to turn it maybe down to like 10 watts. Multi-coil like the T8 or the T10, I go to like 13 to 15 watt. I want you guys to see that the cotton is dry, and that is key right now. What I like to do is I like to take my juice, and I will put like 3 drops straight down the middle of each coil. Somebody's honking their horn. So I'll go through and I'll do that, and then I'll put like 10 drops on the top. Now whenever I fire this, I don't want this thing to be creating vapor. I just want it to get warm to soak the juice in. As soon as I start to see a little bit of smoke, or steam I should say, or vapor, I stop. And you'll notice that whenever they start getting warm, it'll actually soak this puddle right into the coils. See, it soaks it right up. Now you want to do this until you notice that the juice channels on the outside are saturated. And you want to get to just that point, just to where you can see that cotton on the outside is wet. Because if that's wet, that means that these coils, the cotton, all the way through is juiced, all the way from the coil on the inside to where the juice from the tank will flow. So I'll do just one little more at the top. And again, you don't need to, pour and hose this down or whatever. You've seen what I did. It's just you're working juice in from the top to the bottom, and I'll say that's good. So these are fully juiced. You can see them glistening. They are wet and they're ready. Also, if you do this and you do it exactly as I shown you, you actually won't get any leaking out of the bottom from this procedure. So let's pop our glass on, set it down. This is one thing I would like to show you too. So whenever you're putting this chimney on, don't just put it on and immediately start going. Doing that will allow you to have a misalignment. It could end up crooked. You could cross thread, and then you'll be one of those people online asking, how the hell do you get this apart? So what you want to do is, when you first do this, push it together, and then turn it backwards a little bit. I don't know if you can see it was kind of crooked, but you'll feel it just kind of click together. You might not feel it, you might not hear it, but you just want to go until it lines up, and you just snug, perfect. Now we'll fill this thing up. You know, pay attention to what you're doing. Don't be like me. Trying to watch camera, trying to watch the tank, don't do too much. Alright, swing that closed, pop our new clean drip tip in, and then this is the confidence that I have in my priming. Revengers are cool. Fingerprints are very real. I'm just wasting your time cleaning my mod in front of you. I normally always vape like 100 watts, 110 with this, but there we go. Perfect. Not oversaturated. You didn't hear it gargling, spitting, spurting. You don't hear me coughing and dying from a dry hit. Everything was exactly the way it should be. Let me know, guys, if this is something you would like to see more of. Some more Red Cap Everyday tutorials and tips and stuff like that on just everyday things that you can do to maybe improve your vaping experience. And if it's worth your time to watch, it's worth my time to do.